So in this video, we're going to explore the campaign responses feature, which is part of campaigns and quick campaigns within Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Sales. And it's probably a feature that a lot of people don't know about, but it's actually quite interesting capability. So let's go to the system. I'll show you what I mean. So I will go into the campaigns area, and within the marketing area on my sidebar here, and I've pre-set up a campaign response demonstration. Just open that up. I've set up the basics. I've added a marketing list. And it's worth saying at this stage, probably the primary role of a campaign record is to be able to track your leads and opportunities back against it to give you some return on investment tracking. But another use case for it is being able to bulk generate activities, which is what we're going to do next, and that's kind of where campaign responses come into things. So if I go to related campaign activities, I'm going to create a new campaign activity. I'll just call that test phone activity, and the channel I'm going to use is phone, so I'm going to save that. And I want to bulk generate those, so in order to do that I need to go to the distribute campaign area, say when that's going to be due. We can say that's going to be due the 8th of Jan, and I'm just going to put this in as test, and then we'll just distribute that to the owners of the records in the target marketing list, and just click distribute, and that's going to whir away in the background and generate those activities. While it's doing that, just one thing to say: if you are using Microsoft Dynamics, feel you want to get a bit more out of it, you want some guidance on best next steps, then feel very free to reach out. I'll put some links below. Always happy to have a chat to people about their particular situation. Anyway, let's see if this has generated. It generally takes up to a minute or so to generate. So if I just click refresh the timeline, yeah, so those have generated already. And I can go into one of those records. So basically what we've done, we bulk created some phone activities. So maybe this is a event and we want perhaps the team to sort of chase people up and see if they'd like to attend it. So let's open that phone record, which is what I'm going to do. And I have the ability on the top menu here through the three dots to convert this phone activity. And if I click on that, I can convert it to an opportunity, I can convert it to a case, but I've also got the ability to promote it to a response. So effectively what it's saying here is that, we've initiated a campaign and somebody's shown some interest. I mean, you can kind of use this however you want to use it, but we've got some interest there. It's probably short of an opportunity. We're not at that opportunity stage. I think generally you want to tightly define when opportunities get created and what circumstances, but you get situations where you get interest that's short of an opportunity, and this gives you the ability to track that in the system. So I can promote this to a response record, and I can add some details to the description. It's linked automatically to the campaign code. It's automatically pulled out back the details of the contact that it's related to. And if I now save and close that, and by the way, I can change the response. So in this particular case, by default, it's picked up the response is interested. But if I click on that, I could put not interested, do not send marketing materials, error. These are the out of the box values. You can obviously tune that to your particular needs. So if I now save and close that, and if I go back to my campaign, then I can see within the details area on my campaign, I've got a grid here that's listing all the campaign responses I've got. So what it's effectively doing, as I say, is allowing you to initiate a campaign and track interest or that's not quite at opportunity level. I also got the ability to open that response up, and I can actually convert a campaign response in turn to other things. So if I click on that top, convert campaign response, I could generate a lead, and I probably don't want to do that. I think they're already in the system. Generally, leads area is a parking area for data that we aren't very sure about. We want to check it before we commit it to the system. So I don't want to create a lead. I don't want to convert to an existing lead. but I may well be interested in creating a quote order or opportunity for an account or contact, or I could close a response. I'm not going to do that, but at this stage, but I just wanted to show the principle on what a campaign response is. And so I think it's quite an interesting area. I think it does allow you to start to track interest. It might be quite a while after you start a campaign that you might get your sort of first leads or opportunities come through. So I think it's quite useful to have some sort of indicator of interest in advance of that, and you can use that to define whatever indications of interest you have in mind, whether that's you've got through to the right person, they've agreed to have a phone conversation, or they're going to attend a webinar or coming to an event. That's up to you to define how to use that. But I think it's quite an interesting feature that sort of tracks that sort of pre-opportunity interest. Anyway, hopefully that's been helpful explaining what campaign responses are and how you might potentially use them. This is one in quite a range of videos that we've now done on Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales. Please feel free to check out the rest of the channel. Also, you got any suggested content ideas, or as I mentioned earlier, if you need some help with Microsoft Dynamics, check out the links below. Anyway, thanks very much for your time today, and hopefully see you again soon.